Okay, so we'll talk more about this one in a future show. This is the Kepra.
Yes.
Okay, so I actually took this picture not in the Ramsey part, but it was actually it was called Insect World.
Okay.
And so I went to Insect World, and they had a big, huge dung beetle there, right?
Yes.
Okay, a model size dung beetle there. And so there, up under that, is what I saw this.
Yes.
And in the insect department.
In the insect department.
Correct.
That's crazy. I mean, because the whole story behind the dung beetle is it would roll the
sun.
So it's rolling this dung into a ball, which ultimately was the representation of the sun.
Yes.
Crossing the sky. And okay,
correct.
Is this where they then put their eggs inside?
That's correct.
The dung.
Well, I mean, the whole idea behind the dung beetle is rejuvenation, right? So it has a lot to do with all that afterlife, rejuvenation, and all that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly it. But they're rolling a ball of dung, right? But that represents like the sun. So what they're talking about is Kepri.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you look on the wall, so you see Kepri, it's like the guy in the suit with the bug head.
Yeah, that's like the bug that he was representing.
Exactly, but that's Kepri.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's what they're referring to.
Yeah. Now, okay, so the scarab beetles, okay, in their modern representations, we saw the mummy movies sometimes, unfortunately, and they had the scarab beetles as these like punishment. How did you feel about that representation? Was that anywhere close? Because remember, they put them inside what they call the sarcophagus, right? With Emotep when they were punishing him, and they would eat their flesh. So these were flesh-eating creatures in the most modern representations through these mummy movies.
That's completely inaccurate.
Completely inaccurate.
Yes, I saw that, and I go, if someone saw that not knowing any better, they would have thought.
Right. Like most of us, most of us didn't know any better.
But it's completely inaccurate. It's wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Dung beetles are not. Yeah, they don't do anything of the sort. If anybody know anything about insects, that's the first thing that you'll notice. They're not flesh-eating beetles.
Right.
Okay, so that's wrong. So we got to talk a little bit more about that on another show, because I really want to get into why this representation is misunderstood.
Yeah.
Okay, we really need to talk about that, because that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy one that they really took it there with that representations of the beetle.
Well, these things are subtle, right?
Yeah.
Like we talked about Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And if us not knowing any better, we would think that's actually true when it's not.
Yeah, yeah. And that's how most of us walk around thinking that stuff is true.
Yes, and it's completely, in my opinion, it was a disservice to them, because they, if you are studying insects and understanding their habitat, you understand their way of life, you would know all the myth that was covered, right?
Right.
This is wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. And then you go, well, how come they're saying it in these movies? Right? To me, it's very misleading.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, another one you sent over to me, and this